When I say farm merch, what do you think about? Maybe a t-shirt with your logo or a hat? What if I told you that farm swag is one of the most underutilized marketing tools in your farm business? Done right, it becomes a walking billboard, a conversation starter, a loyalty builder, and a bridge that turns casual customers into brand superfans. And today, we're going to break it all down. Let's get started. Hey there, this is Corinna Bench, and welcome to the My Digital Farmer podcast. In today's market, it's not enough to just grow your product. You've got to know how to sell it too. Welcome to the My Digital Farmer podcast, where we reveal online marketing strategies and tips to help farmers like you get better and more confident at marketing. Learn how to find more customers, increase your sales, and build a strong brand for your farm. Let's start the show. Well, welcome to episode 325 of the My Digital Farmer podcast. I'm your host, Corinna Bench, one of the farmers at Shared Legacy Farms out in Elmore, Ohio. I'm also the founder of MyDigitalFarmer.com, which is all about trying to help other farmers like you get more confident in your marketing and sales strategies so that you can grow a profitable business. How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to the show, and a big shout out to all of my regular listeners. I'm so glad you're here today. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. Make sure you subscribe to the show and go check out my first 10 episodes, especially if you're a little bit new to the marketing lingo. They were designed to be an on-ramp into the marketing vocabulary and systems so you can learn the ropes. You can also get onto my email list, which is going to help you a ton, because when you do, I'm going to send you something into your inbox about every 5 days for like 3 months. And I'm basically going to walk you through the jungle of marketing and teach you the key fundamental principles you need to know, point you to the really good podcasts in my archive, the influencers you should know, the tools you should have in your toolkit, the things you should be investing in, and the kind of your first steps. So you can do that by going to mydigitalfarmer.com/subscribe. It's really good. And if you don't like it, you can just unsub. But I encourage you to subscribe and then save those emails in like a folder in your inbox. You can go back and review them when you have more time in the fall. Again, mydigitalfarmer.com/subscribe. Today's podcast is sponsored by my friends at Local Line. If managing orders, customers, and inventory feels chaotic this season, it might be time for a better system. Local Line is the all-in-one sales platform built for farms and food hubs. Whether you're selling direct to consumer or managing wholesale buyers or running a CSA. With tools like e-commerce, automated inventory management, subscriptions, barcode scanning, box builder, and POS, Local Line helps you simplify operations and grow your sales. In fact, farmers using Local Line increase their annual sales by 23% and boost their average order size by 9.5%. Switching is easy. No setup fees, no sales commissions, and your onboarding manager will migrate your storefront for free, no joke, so that you can get started without missing a beat. As a podcast listener, you'll also get one premium feature for free for a full year when you use my code MDF2025 at checkout. So head to mydigitalfarmer.com/local line, use that coupon code, and you'll be on your way. Start selling smarter this season with Local Line. And now back to the show. I'm so glad you're here today. I am recording this on July 24th, and I just got back from a road trip / vacation to Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Big shout out to all my Wisconsin farmer fans. We go to the Oshkosh Air Show just about every year when we can swing it, since both of our boys are really into aviation. This is the first year that we went camping at Camp Scholler, and we stayed there for 3 nights. It was gorgeous weather. It was like 65 degrees, sunny, beautiful conditions for the actual air show itself. And it was fun to just hang out with my boys and watch them. They're older now. They can kind of go off by themselves. My older son actually volunteered a couple of the days, which I was really proud of. Then, of course, on our way back, I had to make sure I grabbed some Spotted Cow beer, which you can only get inside the state lines of Wisconsin. That is a great marketing ploy, by the way. And we brought back 2 cases for my husband. It's one of his favorite beers. So here I am back at the computer. We're not taking a week-long vacation this year like we normally do, just because the way the weather turned out, we had to start late, and we just really need to finish and keep going through the whole season. So hopefully we will put something together for the end of the year for our family to go do something cool. However, this trip to Oshkosh inspired today's podcast episode, which is all about farm merch. Let me tell you, when we were walking around the air show, there was a lot of merch everywhere. And maybe it's because I study marketing and I teach marketing, but I noticed that kind of stuff now. And then I started to look for it. I was like, what are all the different kinds of merch that you could even have? And let me tell you, there was quite a list. I took notes. So within the category of apparel, there was t-shirts, polo shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, hats, even Hawaiian shirts with aviation themes and like EAA Air Venture branding on it. And then within the category of t-shirts, you had specific kinds of categories of airplanes. So if you ever go to the air show, they break it up into different sections and areas. There's the warbirds, there's the vintage aircraft, there's home builds, ultralight, and one other one that I'm forgetting right now. And so within those different categories, you saw specific t-shirts, so that if you were a person that identified as a warbird fan, then there were all kinds of shirts just about warbirds. There was, of course, the theme shirt of the entire Oshkosh Air Show, which you saw a lot of people wearing. And then there were kind of shirts around specific aircraft. So if you were a super fan of the Osprey or the Texans or the Mustang or the Hellcat, Tiger Cat, Bearcat, Wildcat, like you could get a shirt just around that. So I just thought that was interesting. And we're going to be talking about merch today, and just pay attention to some of the things you hear me talking through here that I saw at the show, and how, maybe you could get really specific on a particular thing that you sell or a particular category as you're building merch too. That was kind of an insight that I had. Then there was this whole category of like collectibles and souvenirs. So pins, patches, which makes sense for aviation, right? I think those jackets people wear, decals, posters. Some were even signed by famous pilots, stickers, keychains, and model airplanes. So if you're a pilot, you tend to have a favorite plane, and so maybe you want to go and collect that model airplane for that favorite type of plane. There were home and office items like metal signs, flags, and banners, which honestly helped out a ton, because when we were trying to find our campsite, I was actually looking for flags that I knew were close to my campsite, and that's how I would make my way back to my campsite. Drinkware, obviously, like travel mugs, puzzles, games, and then there were like the essentials. So especially if you're camping at Camp Scholler, there were things like sunscreen, lip balm. There were my son said there were gummy bears that had been somehow branded by Oshkosh, by the air show. There were umbrellas in case it was raining. For kids, there was like aviation themed toys. There were plush airplanes, model kits. The Goodyear blimp was celebrating its 40th anniversary that year, so they were doing a spot in the air show. And so you saw these inflatable blimps all over the place that you could buy and take that home with you. And then just like books about aviation. boxer briefs. I wrote that one down because I thought that was hilarious. Boxer briefs that were themed for aviation. So I thought it would be fun today for us to talk a little bit about merch and swag and what it does for our brand. Kind of just review that. I want you to be thinking about what farm swag do you currently have in your farm business? Maybe it's one or two things. Maybe you have a lot of swag. What are the ones that are selling a lot? And what are they doing for you? Because sometimes the thing that's selling a lot isn't necessarily making you tons of profit. I would actually argue that farm merch isn't really there to make you a lot of money. It's there for a different purpose, which is just as valuable. But be thinking about, what do these different things that you offer in the way of swag and merch, how are they helping your marketing and your branding? And then I want to end up the episode with talking about 20 ideas for how you could be using merch as a marketing tool in your business. And I think that's going to actually be the fun part of this episode. Okay. All right. So let's start out with just a reminder of what swag does for your brand, because I think the first thing that we think of is that, oh, it makes me money. I can sell t-shirts and I can, get a profit margin off of that. And that is true. It is a way for you to generate revenue, but I wouldn't say that that's probably the main thing that it does. In many cases, I sometimes break even with my farm merch because its value to me is actually in some of these other functions. First of all, it builds visibility, because every time someone wears our t-shirt or carries around our tote, our bright fluorescent yellow-green tote at the farmer's market or wherever they're going, they are representing my farm to the world. It also creates an emotional connection. And this is really, really key. And it's something that I noticed, especially at the EAA AirVenture show this past weekend. Swag feels personal, right? It's a way of showing that you belong. I'm a part of this community. I'm wearing the Hellcat shirt, right? All the people who love Mustangs are going to buy a Mustang shirt. So when you see someone else wearing a Mustang, then you just have this instant eye-to-eye connection, oh yeah, we're in the club. And everybody's wearing aviation shirts. There's hardly anyone just wearing a plain white shirt, right? We're all trying to look like we're hardcore and we're in the community. So it signals belonging. And I want you to think about that. We want our customers to feel like they belong. This is a very powerful emotion that actually creates loyalty to our brand. So if all it takes is to get them to want to look like they're in the club, then give them a uniform to wear, right? Give them something that they want to put on so they can proudly walk around and showcase that they're in your community. But back to that emotional connection, I think that if it's used as a gift or a thank you or some kind of a reward for a behavior that you want people to repeat, people will remember that. And it feels personal. It's like, oh, this person, my farmer, got this for me. They noticed me. It also increases repeat sales. So especially if your swag is tied to perks or promos, more on that later, it's going to cause somebody to put it on and come back and buy again. So I want you to just be thinking about, how can I use the merch that I'm selling to turn my fans into my marketing engine, right? When someone wears your logo, they're marketing for you. And it's like the ultimate word of mouth. And if you can create this environment where tons of people are just wearing your merch, everyone's going to be seeing a sea of red or a sea of blue or whatever the color is of your shirt. That's powerful. That says, oh, a lot of people like this. There must be something good about this brand. Maybe I should go check it out. So I want to talk now about what are some of the types of swag that you could use in the farming space. And this comes up frequently inside of farm marketing school. Also back when I was doing Accelerator coaching group, we would talk about kind of brainstorm ideas. What could we use as swag for a farm business? And so I'm just going to give you a list of some things. These are kind of top level things. Number one is t-shirts, obviously. If you have a CSA, then some kind of tote bag that identifies that person as a CSA member. But maybe you're a meat producer and your meat comes inside of a cooler or an insulated bag, then that becomes your branded item. Online store magnets. That's often something I hear where they can put that onto their freezer and that reminds them, oh, it's time, my freezer is getting empty. I need to make another order in the online store to fill my freezer with meat. Stickers comes up a lot. So these are things that you could put on your phone, on your water bottle, on your computer or laptop, on your car, that identify you as I'm part of this club. And especially if you have to show the sticker in order to get a discount, then you're going to encourage people to be putting it on things like their phone that they always have with them, right? Aprons is another idea. Enamel pins that are shaped like your most iconic crop that they could put on their hats. Hats is another one, or caps. Koozies, I've heard that one. If you're a meat producer, like barbecue rubs or spice blends that are in some kind of branded packaging. A wooden grill scraper has come up before. These the mitts that you wear when you're grilling, just something that they're using while they're grilling, and then it makes them think about your brand. Every time they're grilling, they're associating it with, I get my meat from from this farm. Meat thermometers that have your farm logo on it. If you're a flower farmer, I've thought about like a vase that changes every year. It's a custom vase for that season that causes people to want to buy a new vase for the year, and it's something beautiful. And then every week, their goal is to switch out the flowers, and they can be collecting those as well. Wildflower seed packets that have your logo on them, or branded floral snips or garden gloves. These are just some of the ideas if you're a flower farmer. So let's talk now about how can we actually use merch as a marketing tool. And this is actually what inspired the episode. This is where I think it's going to be fun. I have 20 ideas that I put together. I had more, but I decided to narrow it down because it's just ridiculous. I can talk too long, I know. So let's start out first with using merch as a welcome gift for new customers. Raise your hand if you have done this before. This is brilliant. You surprise a first-time online store customer with a branded tote or a magnet or a sticker for a water bottle, and you make sure that you tell them, hey, this is for you. You could even sign the note in some way. And what this does is it kind of invites them to say, hey, you are now invited to show that you belong to my community. Here's a sticker you can put on your phone. Here's a sticker you can put on your water bottle. Or here's a branded tote that clearly costs the farmer a little bit of money, and they're investing in you, the customer. And now the customer is like, oh, that's really nice. There's a sense of reciprocity. But I think even more importantly, it's like an invitation to put this on and showcase that you now belong to my community. And the minute someone peels off the sticker and puts it on their phone, it's like they're making a micro commitment, a little step forward, a little closer to saying, I'm in the clan, right? Another idea for swag or merch is to use it as a VIP thank you gift. And this is where you would identify who are your VIPs, and from time to time, you might have a milestone in their journey where once they hit a certain threshold, it unlocks a free piece of merch, whether it's a mug or a t-shirt or whatever, right? But it's only given to your top spenders to foster loyalty, to identify them as a special customer, to make them feel proud. So we did a whole episode all about building a VIP strategy. I will link those 2 episodes up in the show notes. They're fairly recent. I want to say they were maybe 2 or 3 episodes back, and they're really good. And I know this idea shows up in there as well. Number 3, customer referral program prize. So if you decide that you want to create a referral program, an actual strategy that encourages your customers to talk you up to their friends, and then they get rewarded when they do, this means you have to track that in some way. This could be one of the rewards, right? You could offer swag for anyone who ends up referring a new customer or CSA member, or once they have referred a certain number, this unlocks and they get one of these. You could advertise this or you could make it a surprise. Okay. Number 4 is just team apparel. So this is where you outfit your farm crew, your staff, in branded hats or shirts, whether it's at the farmer's market or special events. Maybe you just even have them wear it as part of their uniform. Like, hey, for your production crew, we give a lot of merch to our production crew, and my hope is that they'll wear it because when I'm taking pictures throughout the season, I love it when they happen to be wearing one of our farm shirts because it shows them that they're in the community. My followers see that. Maybe now they'll want to be in the community when they wear a shirt. They feel like we're all a part of one big family, right? So be thinking about that. If you have a team that's going to the farmer's market for you, are they just wearing whatever they're wearing, or are you giving them farm merch? Because remember, if they're wearing farm merch that you're now selling, behind them, a customer might come to your stand and be like, I really like that shirt. I want that shirt. And because the crew is wearing it, they now say, I'd love to have that in a size small or whatever. Today's podcast is sponsored by my friends at Taste the Local Difference. Is your marketing to-do list starting to feel like a second full-time job? When your list of tasks is growing longer by the day, or you've got a highly technical project like a logo design or setting up your e-commerce shop, you need farm marketing experts like Taste the Local Difference. With over 20 years experience, TLD is my recommended go-to marketing agency for purpose-driven farmers and local food entrepreneurs. Because working with these businesses is not only their passion, it's their sole focus. No wonder most of their clients see an average of 200% return on their investment within the first year after service. So whether you need a marketing plan to reach more ideal customers, a graphic design for labels, packaging, or advertising, or a beautifully built website fully optimized for web search, the farm marketing experts at Taste the Local Difference can help you with all of that and more. And they have a special offer just for My Digital Farmer podcast listeners. Go to localfoodmarketing.com/podcast to learn more. And when you fill out a no obligation marketing inquiry form, just mention My Digital Farmer and you'll get 10% off any marketing service up to $300. And now back to the show. All right, number 5, influencer gifting. You could send your merch to your biggest influencers in exchange for a social post. This could be part of the package of compensation for them. I think this works for those of you who are using influencers. I think this is awesome because if they decide they like this shirt a lot and they just want to wear it, around, they're going to have this shirt on even when they're talking about other stuff. So it ends up becoming free marketing for you. But you could ask them, hey, when you talk about my product, could you also be wearing the shirt? And who doesn't love a cool free t-shirt? Number 6, chef or partner gifting. So this is similar to the influencer one, but you can gift any of your collaborating chefs or restaurants with one of your branded shirts, hats, or mugs. And it adds social proof. It builds co-branding. We don't do a lot of work with restaurants anymore, but when we did, we always gave our chefs one of our t-shirts, and my hope was that they would wear it periodically, and it would make sense for them as a chef that supports local farmers and local food, that they would want to support their local farmer and show that and wear that with pride. All right, number 7, what about an online store freebie threshold? So this is where you create a special offer like spend $100 and get a free t-shirt of your choice. This works great because it basically drives a larger average order values. Somebody is now going to try to come up with some other things they can put in their cart just so they can get that t-shirt. If you have a lot of t-shirts left over at the end of the year and you're trying to clear inventory, this is a great way for you to increase your sales in your store too. If you were just going to clearance them anyway, then you might as well try to give them away as one of these freebies if a person spends a certain amount of money in the store. Number 8, a contest prize. You could host a social media contest or some kind of a cooking contest among your CSA members, and the prize could be some exclusive merch. If you have, a hoodie or something a little more valuable, that's always very popular. Number 9. Okay, I didn't really know what to call this one, but this is like a raffle entry bonus. So this is where you would include merch in your, let's say, your CSA welcome box, the first box, and you would tell the new customer to wear it or use it, if it's a coffee mug, take a picture of it and tag you for a chance to win something, whether it's free produce or meat or flowers. And so if you have a constant stream of new people coming in every month, then you could be collecting, like the people that are doing this, put all those names into a pool, and then you pull out one name once a month and they win free swag. Okay. Number 10 is a silent auction package. How many of you have been asked to donate something to silent auctions? I think we're all raising our hand here. I get asked multiple times a year by different organizations, and this could be something that you create as a standalone item to auction off, or it could be something that you put into one of your packages, and it builds brand awareness in a classy way, I think. Number 11, some kind of CSA membership bonus. So this could be the free gift that they get when they sign up early. If you do kind of early bird signups like we do, or a sign up incentive. Maybe you don't even have the t-shirt design printed yet, but you basically tell them next year when we order the t-shirts, if you pre-order your CSA now, by the end of October, you will get a free t-shirt next year. And you'll get the coupon code to be able to redeem that. Number 12, holiday gift bundles. So you can pair merch with your products. Maybe it's a mug with your herbal teas, or a tote with a farm fresh bouquet. Number 13, a market day surprise and delight. This is kind of fun, where you randomly give away merch to market customers to spark joy and that surprise and delight factor. And then this encourages social shares big time. But this might be where every 60 minutes or every 30 minutes, you ring a big cowbell or something at your market stand, and you say, giving away t-shirts for the next 30 seconds, to people who are in line, and 5 people get a t-shirt in that period, and then it's over, right? So there's kind of this flurry, like, especially if you're doing it multiple times, or some version of that. Maybe you just decide randomly when you want it to be, and you pass it out to 5 people or 10 people. The next 10 people who purchase from us are going to get a free t-shirt. Number 14, event swag. All right, this is where you create a specific shirt or keepsake item for a special event. Maybe you have a corn maze every year, and so you have a t-shirt every year that's made, it's different for that theme, that corn maze theme. Or maybe it's a specific t-shirt for your CSA season, like we do for our farm. This is something that I saw obviously at the air show. The air show every year has an official themed t-shirt. It's the one that everybody wants to buy because it's got a really cool design on the back. And I don't know, it's just kind of encouraged that if you're going to buy a shirt, this is the one that you should invest in. Merch Mondays is my next idea. So this is where you might offer a flash merch sale on a specific day. And you can use urgency here to move them. So like only 10 hoodies available. You got to come in today, limited time offer, purchase on Monday, and first 10 people will get a free hoodie. Number 16, loyalty punch card reward. So this is where you might give your merch, a tote or a hat or whatever, to a customer after they have purchased 10 times or 5 times or whatever your number is. Kind of depends on the business. This works great for farmers market or flower farmers, I think, too. Every time they come and get a flower bouquet from you, it will encourage them to come back. What this does is it pulls the frequency lever. And if you've been listening to my podcast enough, you know that there are 3 or maybe 4 primary ways to increase your revenue. And one of them is by getting a person to buy more frequently. Makes sense, right? To come back more often throughout the year and spend what they typically spend with you. So if you have a loyalty punch card type thing, they will want to aspire to hit that number 10 so that they get their free gift. All right, my next idea, number 17, wear it, win it. I love this one. So if you wear your Shared Legacy Farms t-shirt to your CSA pickup site, you'll get a free cookie. I don't know, whatever. Or you get 10% off your order that day if you're wearing it to the farmer's market. You could just have that be your special offer. And now you've got a sea of red shirts coming to your booth, right? And people walking around the market wearing your shirt because they stopped by your stand, and people are like, wow, there's all these red shirts. What is that? And they just keep seeing your brand. Today's podcast is sponsored by Farm Marketing School. All right, farmer, let me ask you something. Is marketing your farm something you actually enjoy? Or does it feel like a constant struggle? If you are like most farmers that I talk to, you are wearing all the hats, and marketing always seems to slip through the cracks. Can I get an amen? That's exactly why I created Farm Marketing School. It's an online membership designed to help farmers like you build a simple, repeatable marketing system that actually works. Inside, you'll get bite-sized, step-by-step projects that make marketing easier. Each month, you pick what to work on, like writing better sales emails or improving your website copy or setting up your online store. And I walk you through exactly how you should be doing it. And you're not doing this alone. Every month, we have a live Zoom meetup where you can ask me questions, meet other members of Farm Marketing School, get coaching, and hear what's working for other farmers. It's like having a farm marketing mentor in your back pocket. This isn't some long, overwhelming course. The projects are designed to be completed in under 30 days, so you're making steady progress without it taking over your life. So if you're ready to stop winging it and finally build a marketing system that brings in steady sales, come join Farm Marketing School today. Sign up for your first month and see what a difference it makes. Go to mydigitalfarmer.com/FMS to get started. And now back to the show. Okay, we've got 3 more to go. Number 18. This is your Superfan Collector Series merch. Let's say you have a 10-year anniversary that you're celebrating as a farm. You could make a 10-year anniversary edition t-shirt. Well, first of all, I would just say make a different t-shirt every year for your business, because then what you'll find, the longer you're in business, people start collecting them. And it's so funny now because people are trying to remember what all the themed shirts are over the years. And at least among my staff, I'm seeing this happen. Like, oh, what was that one? And do you have this one? And oh, I forgot about that shirt with the tractor on the front. And everyone's trying to just see who has what, to see if we can collectively, have all shirts on our team. But it's great if you make like a 5-year anniversary shirt or a 10-year anniversary shirt. You could even have a day where you encourage your customers to wear a shirt from the past, right? To see how many of the different shirts show up. And you could randomly pick 10 people, the 10 people who each demonstrate one of the different 10 shirts that you've had over the course of the year, and they could each get a prize, something like that. But creating some sort of a collector series, just like there are collector series at the air show for the different types of individual airplanes that people become fans of. Okay, number 19, you could have some sort of a photo backdrop at your market stand, like a photo wall. And you would invite people who are wearing your merch to take a photo for your Instagram wall. So you would have them tag your farm and then enter to win a prize. Does that make sense? So they're going to your farmer's market where you have this photo booth thing set up of some sort. You invite them to take a picture there and then tag you. And then you choose somebody from all those people that have tagged you to win a prize. I think this builds a lot of social buzz. Plus, it gives you user-generated content that you can use almost like a testimonial for years to come. And then finally, my last idea was mystery merch. Mystery merch add-on in the online store, or it could even be at the farmer's market. This is where you might offer a $10 mystery merch add-on at checkout. It could be a magnet, a mug, a sticker pack, a cap. And people don't know what it's going to be. Maybe they only can access the $10 mystery merch if they spend $50 or $75 or whatever. But it creates a little bit of intrigue, and I think it also increases the average order value because more people will want to get that mystery thing and wonder what's inside there, right? And you know what? I thought of one more as I was talking, so I'm gonna add number 21 here. What about a birthday club gift? If you are keeping track of the birthdays of your customers, you could invite email subscribers to join your birthday club. And then when it is their birthday, you send them a free sticker or a magnet or a coupon for a hat or a t-shirt during their birthday month. Or you say, hey, wear this shirt on your birthday when you come to the farm stand and you'll get a free, donut or something some value-added product. That means that they're going to come to your store and probably buy something as well. I know they do this at a local restaurant out here in Toledo, a seafood restaurant, and you can go there on your birthday and they'll give you a free entree up to $20. But you often come with your friends, right? When you decide to celebrate that, and so they end up selling a lot more on that. But I think you have to wear their swag when you do so. So it's just another idea there that I came up with. Okay, there's my list. Did anything jump out at you? Did you get a little excited about one or two of them? Listen, you're not supposed to do all 21 of these. Let me make that clear. This is just meant to get your mind stirring and thinking about, man, I could be using my farm merch in a lot of other creative ways that get at these other goals in marketing, which is to make someone feel like they belong, increase the average order value, create an emotional connection, a sense of loyalty to the brand. Those are very powerful. So if we can get merch into people's hands and get them using it, that is a win for our brand on so many levels. And you are much more likely to have that customer for a very long time if you can get this to happen. So how are you currently using merch or swag? Have you given it enough thought? And perhaps today you are going to be challenged to consider, is there one strategy that I'm going to go all in on and try to get people to get this piece of swag? Maybe it's just a sticker. If that's like low cost for you to invest in, a couple $100 and buying a bunch of stickers, and you're just going to push the stickers, right? Play around with this and think about what could we do so we're maximizing and optimizing our merch and swag. All right, my friends, that's all I have today. You can find the show notes for today's episode at mydigitalfarmer.com/325. If you liked today's episode, please share it with a farmer friend. Help me get the word around that I exist. And leave me a rating or a review for the podcast on Apple Podcasts. It really does help more people find out about the show. If you want to get more farm marketing tips, get onto my email list. You can do so by going to mydigitalfarmer.com/subscribe. I'm also on Instagram at mydigitalfarmer, so you can follow me there. I show up there in Instagram stories with a marketing tip or a mindset coaching moment from time to time. I'm also obviously inside of Farm Marketing School, which is my signature program that helps coach farmers to build their marketing assets and build their marketing strategy strong so they feel confident and know what they're doing. I would love to be your mentor and in the community with you. If you want to come check it out and try it out for a month, you can come inside at mydigitalfarmer.com/FMS. I just released a new project into Farm Marketing School, the Instagram Stories project, where you learn how to technically do Instagram Stories and some of the strategy behind it. So if you want to learn that particular skill, that is also now inside the school, along with over 15 other workshops that you can access. Thank you for joining me today, everyone. Have an amazing week, and I will catch you next time. Remember, I believe in you. Bye-bye.